Okay, we're testing X-BRAID here. 15-pound braided fishing line. In order for this to be a pass, this meter has to reach at least 15 pounds. We're starting off with the dry fishing line. We're going to do 3 tests with dry fishing line. And each test will be represented by a different color fishing bead. Orange, green, blue. Okay, here we go with dry 1. Okay, there you can see the rig. And there's the meter at 15.3 pounds of tensile strength. Let's do test 2, dry 2. Okay, here we go with test 2 of the X-BRAID 15-pound braided fishing line, represented by the green fishing bead. Here's a look at test 2. Test 2 reads a tensile strength of 15.7 pounds. Here you can see the rig, the top part of the rig. There's the bottom. Let's do dry 3, represented by the blue fishing bead. Okay, here we go with test 3 of the dry fishing line, represented by the blue fishing bead. In order for this fishing line to pass, this meter has to reach at least 15 pounds, because this label says it's 15 pounds. So let's see if they're telling you the truth or lying to you. Okay, dry 3, test dry 3. Looks like it's squeaked in there at 15.1 pounds of tensile strength. There's the top part of the rig. There's the bottom part of the rig. Let's move on to the wet fishing line now. Okay, now we're going to run 3 tests of wet braided fishing line on the X-BRAID 15-pound braided fishing line. And here you can see we've been soaking it in this water here. So we're testing wet braided fishing line. Wet 1. Wet 1 represented by the orange fishing bead. There we go. Wet 1 broke at 14.2 pounds of tensile strength. And here's a look at that rig. Here we go with 15-pound X-BRAID. Wet 2 represented by the green fishing bead. In order for this to pass, this fishing line to pass, this meter has to reach at least 15 pounds. Here's the results of wet 2. Actually, it didn't reach the benchmark of 15 pounds. And here's a look at the rig. Let's go on to wet 3. Okay, here we go with wet 3, represented by the blue fishing bead. Wet 3. wet 3 looks good at 15.4 pounds of tensile strength on the X-BRAID. I'm going to lose him. He's going to wrap around the pole. There he goes. It's going to break. Look at that, baby.
Dude, it's huge.
Here we go with the abrasion testing. We're going to test 3 dry rigs. Then we're going to test 3 wet rigs. We're going to start out with the orange bead on abrasion dry 1. Down and up is 1 cycle. 1. 1. Barely 1 cycle. Okay, next we're going to the green fishing bead on abrasion test 2 of the dry fishing line. 1. 1. Just falling apart. Now this is some of the actual structure that you will encounter in your fishing spot. This is called riprap. Let's go to dry 3 on abrasion test, represented by the blue fishing bead. Down and up is 1 cycle. 2. 2. Barely 2 cycles. Let's move on to the wet abrasion testing. We're doing the abrasion testing on this X-BRAID. Okay, this is wet 1 on the abrasion test on the X-BRAID. Down and up is 1 cycle. 1. 2. 1. 2. 2 cycles on that. Okay, we're going to wet 2, represented by the green fishing bead. 1. 1. Falls right apart. I don't know if you want to try this stuff or use it or whatever. Okay, wet 3 on the abrasion testing, represented by the blue fishing bead. Down and up is 1 cycle. 1. 1. That didn't do too good. You hit a rock while you're in there fishing, or you wrap around that pylon that's under the bridge. It's going to go snap. Why do we test with sharp rocks and not sandpaper like the other fishing channels? Products have to be tested under the worst conditions to see where they fail and to make sure they are reliable when things go wrong. If a product survives the hardest conditions or tests, you can trust it will perform in the normal everyday use. Now you've seen the test and the results. Do you trust this X-BRAID fishing line? Tell me in the comments if you would fish it or leave it on the shelf. Now let's check out the next fishing line review.